In like 10 seconds, we're gonna start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kim Thompson. I'm a health and wellness specialist working with students here at Khalifa University, and I hope you're intrigued to know what an exercise snack is, because today that's what we're going to be thinking about. When you think about the word exercise, what actually comes into your mind? Because it's often not a very popular word, is it? For many, exercise is associated with sweat, maybe pain, and maybe these guilty thoughts that you should be doing more. And all of that gives it a bit of a negative vibe. For many of us then, exercise just stays in our to-do list. We never actually get around to it. And we hear these recommendations that you need 30 or 60 minutes of exercise each day to be fit and well. That just seems impossible. And so the whole idea just goes in the too hard basket. But what if we could snack on exercise? Or any movement you like, really. It doesn't have to be formal exercises. Just like we snack on food between meals. As a way to get the benefits of a longer session of exercise, to reduce the amount of sitting that we do every day, and to generally feel good, exercise snacks is really the answer. So today I'm going to hopefully answer all of your questions about what an exercise snack is. So as we're going to go through, we're going to ask the what, who, which, why, where, all of those things. And at the end, I hope that you're ready and feel able to actually start a bit of a habit of exercise snacks for yourself. In the middle of this, I do a short session where I'm doing these series of exercises in my home. So I'm in my dining room, I've moved the table just so we can film, but I normally do these things in the kitchen. So while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil or the eggs to boil, I do a series of exercises. That's my cue, if you like. Now, before we get right into this, I want you to pause for just a minute and think about how you feel in your body right now. So are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? Go from head to toe. Are you feeling energized, fast, slow, tired? Pick a word. Okay, and hold on to that word because we're going to revisit it a little bit later. Before I start, I want to tell you a little story. I'm a physiotherapist by training, and so when I worked as a physiotherapist, I was busy, I was active. I walked all day, I used my limbs to do things with patients, I was fit. Then what did I decide to do? I decided to teach. I became an academic. So my day went from beautiful exercise and activity into mostly sitting. I found it very difficult to find 30 minutes, most days, to do any kind of activity, and I didn't feel good. So I wish I'd heard about exercise snacks a lot earlier than I learned about them. What's the number one excuse that people give for not exercising? For not actually being active in their day? I bet you guessed it. They're going to tell you that they don't have time. It's the challenge of our modern lifestyle. Our life has sped up, or we speed it up. We cram so much into a day, or we seem to, and we live at this fast pace where our minds are going, but our body is sitting. And so what that means is there's really no movement outlet for all the stress that we're kind of building up using our heads all the time. So if we think about that number one excuse, even very busy people will find 4 minutes every day to brush their teeth. It's a habit they have. If you can find 4 minutes to brush your teeth, you can find 4 minutes to do some activity so that you actually feel good in your body. What if I told you that was possible? What if I told you that by doing 4 to 5 minutes of exercise in a day, you could get similar benefits to doing a much longer session of exercise? Would you believe me if I said that? The research tells us it is possible. So that's where exercise snacks comes into our day. If you think you don't have time, start to rethink, what is exercise? It's simply moving the body. It doesn't mean you have to have special clothes or special shoes. If you walk more, park further away from the door when you go to the mall. Walk to the door. Take a walk when you're doing something. If you're talking on the phone, texting on the phone, do you have to sit to do that? Not necessarily. There's a lift or there's the stairs. Take your pick. And if you're at home, you can choose to do a movement. It could be dance to your favourite song. It could be the exercises we're going to maybe get you involved in a little while. But avoiding exercise, I just made that a whole lot harder, because 4 minutes is all you need. So what is this exercise snack? It's a quick, intense burst of 1 to 5 minutes of exercise, and you can do these throughout the day. So if you're just starting out, you don't even have to do all 5 minutes at once. You can do 1 minute here, have a rest for a while, another minute, and so on. That body movement will get your heart rate up a bit, it will get your muscles being strengthened a bit, and your whole fitness and kind of frame of mind gets better. So these short bursts of intense activity provide excellent health benefits, very similar to doing the big long sessions we try to avoid. These short bursts of higher intensity, so you're having to work a little bit hard, are the key. So you go hard for a little bit, you relax. You go hard for a little bit, you relax. The harder you go, the fewer repeats you need in a day. So you might vigorously climb the stairs like I do here on my way to the tea room, up 2 flights. On the way back down, I stop at the floor in between, do some squats or something else I feel like, and then go back down, go to the tea room. So it is possible, even in a sitting day, to do these things. Any movement with big muscle groups works. So why should we choose exercise snacks? How do exercise snacks help us? What the research says is that you can achieve both physical and mental benefits. So the same as if you go to the gym, you can see improvements in your heart-lung fitness. You can see improvements in blood pressure, it tends to lower. Your muscle strength gets better. Your endurance gets better. So you notice this in everyday life. You go to pick up a child and you realise, oh, that was easier than it used to be. It will boost your metabolism, so it speeds up the number of calories that you're using even at rest. Your memory and focus get better, because bodies were made to move and the brain was made to coordinate that movement. And often taking a short break to do some exercise actually re-energizes your focus and improves your memory. tends to improve productivity, and studies have shown that people who have walking meetings, standing meetings, they're much more creative and they actually are better and more productive in their work day. And finally, it's a mood lifter. Exercise actually makes us feel good. It releases hormones that improve our mood every day. So you can see there in the picture that the brain is doing his lifts there, and that's because it's not just the body that is benefiting, it's the brain. Also, if you're having issues with blood glucose regulation, doing some of these short snacks, particularly before a meal, has been shown in research to actually help regulate that blood sugar. It slows physical and mental aging. So people who move tend to actually stay young in here and in here for longer. So you live longer and you live better. So you're fitter and more active and more able to do what you wish to do. Okay, so let's hear from one of the main researchers. Dr. Martin Gibala, who works at Masdar University in Canada. A few years ago, he was working hard as a researcher and an academic. His wife returned to work after having their second child, and they had 2 children under 4. So when she went back to work full time, he discovered that he had other responsibilities and he couldn't do his usual exercise routine anymore. So that started him on a track of researching, how can I fit exercise in to a busy life like that and get the benefits? And he actually wrote a whole book about it called The 1 Minute Workout. Okay, so you can look for that if you'd like to know more about it. But let's actually watch the video where he talks about his research. No, that's not going to work for me. I have no idea how to do this now. Yeah, just bear with me a moment. This is not my normal. Don't you hate that when it works when you do it beforehand and then it doesn't work when you're in the camera? Never mind. Anyway, on YouTube, you can actually go to this video that you can see here called Exercise Snacks, and Martin Gibala will talk you through the research that they did with students and others, where they got them to run upstairs, do a pause like I do, where they do some star jumps or some other exercises, and then go again. And what they did was they took sedentary students, they took students who weren't doing any activity beforehand, and they got them to do this routine for about 2 weeks. At the start of it, they got them into the lab, they looked at their blood pressure, their oxygen use, their heart-lung fitness, all of those things. At the end of the 2 weeks, when they'd been doing these exercise snacks just twice a day, so all they did was they were going up and down the stairs quite fast, 2 laps, stopping in the middle to do their exercise. At the end of 2 weeks, the amount of change in these young students from just doing that small amount of exercise was similar to if they'd been going to the gym each day and doing 30 or 60 minutes of exercise. So that's important, because what it tells us is that with small, short bursts that we can easily fit into a day, we can get healthy, we can stay healthy. So who can do exercise snacks? Exercise snacks are for everyone. So real people with busy lives can do this. For almost everyone, this, the benefits of physical activity of any sort outweigh the risks, but if you're in doubt, check it out. In particular, if you have health issues that you're aware of, such as heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, or you have musculoskeletal problems with muscles and joints, it may be worth asking your health provider or a fitness professional before you start so that you know which exercises are going to be best for you. If you haven't exercised in a while, then you start slow. You don't necessarily push hard to begin with because this should be fun. If it's not fun, if you hurt afterwards, you are not going to do it again. So make sure that you actually enjoy what you're doing and that you enjoy afterwards as well, that you're not pushing yourself too hard. If you want to go down the path of checking your readiness, if you haven't exercised for a while, there's a link here that we can put below the video later from Canada, which has a very brief questionnaire which will tell you whether you're ready, able, or whether you need to get medical advice. There are some risks. You know, when we start to get active, things can go wrong. And you will have muscle soreness. If you push hard, you will get sore muscles. But having sore muscles that are sore because you know you've done something active is kind of fine. You might take a breather for a day if you're really sore, but you shouldn't be pushing that hard. As you get stronger, of course, and more able, that just disappears. You don't get sore at all. That's been my experience. Increase gradually. Enjoy what you do. You will be tired at the end of 5 minutes. So if you decide that you're going to do what I do in my home in a little while, if you decide to follow along with that video, and I'd love you to do that, then don't necessarily go at my speed, okay? Go at your speed. If you get to 30 seconds of one exercise and find that after I've taught the next one, you're really not ready to do the one after that, don't do it. Wait. Chill, get back to normal, then do the one after that. All good. Again, after a while as you get fitter, you find you have to go faster and do more to actually get the same effect. So what you do, and what I've done, is I count the number of exercises I can fit into my minute at home. And guess what? I've discovered that over time, I started off doing X number of squats in a minute, and it went up and up and up. I've kind of capped out at about 85 in a minute at the moment. If balance is an exercise, please, please don't be afraid to hang on to something. Okay, we don't want people falling over. We do want people active. Okay, so always hang on to something if your balance is a bit iffy. Where can you do these things? Basically, anywhere. So I'm doing them at work. I haven't encountered anybody on the stairs yet doing them, other than me. So I'm not running into anybody. But you can do them at home, you can do them in the park, you can do them wherever you like. There's really no need for a warm-up unless you have a bit of stiffness in joints and so on, and think that you just need to do some walking on the spot or some movement of your arms beforehand. Entirely up to you, whatever makes you comfortable. You don't need sports clothes or equipment, but it is advisable to wear flat, comfortable shoes to do some of this, just so you're stable on your feet and protecting your ankles and knees. You may need a kitchen chair or the bench or the table to hold lightly if your balance is a problem. And if at work, you know, just your work environment, same things. So I can do push-ups off my desk when I think I need to do them. Which exercises? So we're working through the who, what, which, why. Which exercises? Now, the key here is the fun ones, because we want you to come back to doing this as a habit every day. If it is not fun, you are not going to do that. So this is a personal choice, and really the only choice that makes sense. If you wish, a 5-minute dance. Get a video on YouTube and off you go if that makes you feel good. As long as you're using the large muscle groups of your body, so legs, trunk, arms, all good. Start where and when you can. Now, this is what I mean by this is, you start at your level. If you're watching a video and the person on the video is going much faster than you can manage or doing something that is not available to you because you have joint problems or whatever, then you do what you can do. You must stay within your own limits. No matter what your fitness level is right now, there is always something you can do, even if you're doing it in a chair. So I have taught exercise classes in nursing homes where we've had people literally sitting in a chair doing star jumps, opening legs and arms like this in a chair. So believe me when I say you can start from wherever you are. And the exercises that someone might do at 27 might be quite different to what they do at 72, and all good. Do what's comfortable and what makes you happy. So how do you do them? You've chosen your exercises, and the idea is, remember we said back at the beginning, you're doing a short burst of exercise with a rest of at least the same length. So when I do this routine, I do 1 minute of exercise, going pretty hard, then I do 1 minute of rest. And in that rest, I might just stand and wave my arms, or I might do a stretch if I've done some muscle groups where I feel then I need a stretch, like calf muscles, or I just stand there and wait and watch as the clock comes around to the next minute. So you complete the repetitions at your pace and you count and you think to yourself, aha, today I managed 30 of those in that minute, tomorrow let's go for 31. And this is how you become fitter. You motivate yourself to actually push a little further. If your legs start to get unduly sore, or your joints in particular, if your joints hurt doing any exercise, you should not be hurting, okay? Stop an exercise that hurts joints. But if your muscles are just getting tired, just slow down and see if you can complete the minute. Make sure to rest at least 1 minute between the exercises. That way you get the energy back up to do another exercise if you wish. Okay, now if you're at home watching this and think after all of that, oh, I could try this, we're going to show you how you might do it. So for the purposes of today, we're going to do a 30-second piece of exercise with a 1 minute break. And what you'll see is me in my dining room, with the table moved aside, going through a 30-second exercise and then talking you through the next exercise while you have your 60-minute break. Okay, so hopefully this video will work. Let's see. Today's exercises look like this. So the first exercise is a squat, which at its lowest level looks like a sit to stand out of a chair. So you think of squats in a gym, they're not like that, but that's the same muscle groups. So if that's where you start, that's where you start. The next exercise is toe raises. So you're just lifting up on your toes and lowering. Again, it's the speed that's important. You're trying to push up and down as quickly as you can. The next exercise you see there is star jumps. And with all of these, I will show variations because not everyone can jump, including me. I don't like it very much anymore. The next exercise is hip raises. So you're bringing your hip up off the floor as high as you can go with your knee. And the last one is push-ups. But again, not necessarily your standard push-up where you've got to get down on the floor, because some people can't get down on the floor, but everyone can stand at a wall and do a push-up. Okay? Just about everyone anyway. So let's see if me and my lounge room video will actually go this time.
So the first exercise I'm going to demonstrate for you now is squats. You might want to start just doing a sit to stand from a chair, but see if you can put your arms up so that they're not helping you to come up from the chair. Just a simple sit to stand. If that's a little easy, You can then try and do it freestyle. So going up and down, thighs no further than parallel to the floor, and knees in line with your feet. Keeps them safe. If that's a bit easy, you can try doing squats, lunges. So you're just doing one leg and swapping. Okay, shall we give it a go? Ready, go. This is my preference today. And you're going as quickly as you can, but remembering that if you're doing this at home, you'd be doing it for a minute. So you need to do it at a speed that allows you to keep it up for a minute. Counting as you go. Okay, you've done 30 seconds, well done, take a rest. Now, the next exercise we're going to be doing is toe raises, so that's what it sounds like. So I'll just demonstrate for you. Balance can be a problem, so just hanging on to something with your fingers. And you're going straight up on your toes and down. Core stays nice and firm, so you're just going straight up and down. That seems a bit easy. You can do a single lift and then just swap legs whenever one gets tired. Okay, are you ready to start? Let's go. Toe raises. Again, do them at a speed that feels fine for a minute of it, even though we're only doing 30 seconds today. If you wish, you can do 10 in a row and then hold, and then do another 10. Beautiful, that's 30 seconds done of that. How are you going? Pretty easy so far? Our next exercise, while you just have a break there, and you can stretch your calves if you wish, this way, stretching the back one, is star jumps. So if you just watch me do the star jumps, some of us can't jump, it's just not going to work. So you can use a chair and simply do this, or this. If your balance is okay, you can actually do that freestanding. If you're really good, you do the whole thing. Okay, so that's star jumps, all different ways you might try. So when you're ready, let's go for 30 seconds. Sick of my arms doing that. Now I'm tired. Okay, 30 seconds of star jumps. You're starting to puff a little now? You know I am. Our next exercise, while you're just having a bit of a breather, is knee raises. So again, if you need to, you can start hanging on to something, just lifting your knees as high as you can, keeping your tummy firm as you do it. If balance is not a problem, then place your arms down low, makes it easier, or at waist height if you want to push it a bit. Or if that's just way too easy, you're a bit fit, then you might want to be doing jumps, elbow to opposite knee. So when you're ready, whichever one you would like to do today, let's go. Remember, you're going as quickly as you can manage, making sure that you can keep it going. timer stops. Nearly there. Well done. Your legs a little shake. You'll be pleased to know we finished with leg work. But now we need to do something for our upper body, so we're going to do some push-ups. Now your push-up might start at the wall. So you could be here and just pushing back. The important part is keeping your body in a straight line. If that seems a bit easy, come down another level, off a bench. If that seems way too easy, you can always do a floor push-up. So when you're ready, get into the position you want to be in for push-ups. Let's do our 30 seconds. Now with these, arm work is harder than leg work, so you may need to go a lot slower to make sure you can keep going for the time. Beautiful job. Okay, so you've just accomplished your very first exercise snack. Congratulations.
Okay, so if you were following that at home, you can probably tell from that I'm reasonably fit. I could have done the push-ups on the floor, for instance, but easier to show you something like that. Done in my house, and normally I'm on the other side of that black bench that I was using, which is the kitchen. So there's not much space in there, but I can do all of those exercises in that space while I wait for the kettle, something else to happen. And so this is how you get a habit in your day. You choose a cue, and then you decide in that cue you're going to do whichever exercise you want to do, and it doesn't have to be any of those, could be something completely different. The next few slides here just go through those same exercises again, so you can see that what we're doing here is using the large muscle groups of the body and the muscle groups that we actually need to function. So the ease, the ability to get up and down out of a chair, even a low chair, because you've got the muscle strength in your legs and your buttocks to do it, is incredibly important, particularly as you get older. If you've got children, doing things like this, being able to lift a child from the ground without risking your back, important stuff. Toe raises. If you don't do a lot of walking, then keeping your calf muscles strong and toned, this is the way to do it. Simple. Star jumps, maybe not for everybody. And as I showed, there are lots of variations on star jumps. You do not need to jump to use those muscles. Knee raises. So this is nice because you're tending to use a little bit of your core as you bring your knee up as well, but large muscle groups happening. And then finally our push-up. So this ability to start from a high level and gradually work your way down as you get fitter, particularly if you're younger, so that you're eventually on the floor. And if you're a lady, doing the push-ups from your knees, if you're a man, from your feet, it's possible. Okay, it takes work, muscles need to work, but it's possible. And in such a short amount of time, just a snack of exercise, not 30 minutes of it. So where could you find more information about exercise snacks? So as we said before, Dr. Martin Gabala has written the book, The 1 Minute Workout, so that gives you all the research backing and how to kind of do it, to get onto it. There's an interview link which we can put below, which shows him talking about this concept of the exercise snack. There's a lady in New Zealand, Lauren Parsons. She's done a TED talk on exercise snacks, which is very engaging, and she has a whole site. And and a Facebook page which has a heap of videos of exercise snacks, all different types, in her house, all over the place. And I find her quite engaging and quite motivating as a person. She's just a normal kind of person when she looks at you. She's certainly not, you know, body beautiful or anything like that. There is a thing here about HIIT. What is HIIT? High intensity interval training. So you've probably seen a bit about this particular type of exercise, and it's possible to overdo it. Okay, so what I'm asking you to do here is not do huge, hard amounts of exercise often in a day. I'm asking you to go a bit hard because you need to get your heart and lungs working a little, but do it properly, okay? Don't overdo it. And then there's a Dr. Z thing I found on YouTube where he has actually a very fit guy who Americans would know, I guess. He's a sports guy. And he does jumping jacks of various types to do these exercise snacks in the studio, and it's quite fun to watch. This is Lauren Parsons' site again. Now, if you wanted to get started and were kind of thinking, I can't really cue myself, you can join a 7-day free challenge on her site where they send you a 2-minute video each day for 7 days, different exercise routine, so that you can actually just do the 2 minutes, okay? I did this. I found it quite entertaining. It gave me some ideas for other exercises, get out of my usual comfort zone. So I would recommend going to her site and having a look if you're interested to start. And really, I have to ask you, what are you waiting for? Okay? You need to schedule exercise snacks today. And when I say schedule, pick, what is my cue? When the kettle boils, when I'm doing such and such, after I've done something, I will do this. Maybe before you have a meal, you do this. What's it going to take? It's going to take a minute. Have you got a minute before your meals? I think so. Have you got a minute before you brush your teeth? Because you're going to do that anyway. Why not? So as it says there, just do it. Okay? Do any of you have questions that you need answered to help get you started with this? Okay, so how can we stay motivated to do these 5 minutes exercise daily? That is a really good question. Motivation is an interesting thing. And what I would say to you is, don't think about the word motivation. Think about the word habit. Because if you think to yourself now, okay, I have a routine in the morning. I get up, I do this, I do that. Somewhere in there, you decide, I'm going to do my exercise snacks in there, right before or after some other cue, some other routine thing that happens in your day. Which is why I said my cue when I'm at work here is when I want to get up from my desk to go and get a drink. I think, okay, it's time to do the exercise snack. I've sat for long enough, up and down the stairs. So rather than thinking in the way of motivation, where you're almost forcing yourself, try and find a habit cue where you can just roll it into your everyday stuff that you do. Okay, so in the video, if you're watching a video and they're giving you 20-minute rest, 20-second rest, what they're doing is much more of the traditional high-intensity interval training. Now, if you are fit enough to do that, carry on. If it's fun, carry on, okay? But for people like me with 10 grandchildren, it's not going to be something I'll be doing anytime soon, okay? I'm actually going to be doing my 60 seconds and having my 60 seconds to have a little bit of a huff and puff and a little bit of a rest, okay? So it's a bit, you choose. If that's fine for you, if it's good for you, please carry on. But don't overdo that kind of stuff in any one day, okay? You don't want to be sore and you don't want to be kind of overworking your muscles. Okay? So I think I'm out of questions. I want to thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy your exercise snacks at home.